So we're going to have a rematch between the Warrior of Light, Toph, first Metalbender, and Mikey and Don, party planners. Warrior of Light starting with Island, Dancer's Chakrams, Reaper's Scythe, Gold Saucer, Meditation Pools, Island, and Black Mage's Rod. Toph's going to start with Solid Ground, Crystalline Armor, Legend of Kyoshi, Toph, Hard-Headed Teacher, Windhurst, Thriving Heath, Forest. And Don, or Mikey, will start with Surveillance Camp, Thriving Grove, Northampton Farm, Cytoplast Manipulator, Island, Michelangelo, and Forest. And the Warrior of Light won the roll-off, so we're going to draw into Thieves' Knife. We will play the Meditation Pools, comes into play tapped, and we will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Toph, the Blind Bandit. We are going to play Windhurst, comes into play tapped, and we will pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Turtle Tracks. We will play a Thriving Grove. It's going to give us a green or a blue when we tap it. Comes into play tapped, and we're going to pass to Warrior of Light, who will draw into Ninja Blades. We're going to play an Island. Unfortunately, we need swamps, but we're going to play an Island because we have no swamps. We won't be able to cast anything this turn, so we will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Flopsy. Toph will play Thriving Heath. It'll give a white or a red when we tap it, and it's coming into play tapped. And we will pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into an Island. We're going to play a Forest. Then we're going to tap 2. And we're going to cast Michelangelo Weirdness to 11. When it enters, we'll create a mutagen token. Then we will pass the turn to Warrior, who will draw into Foggy Swamp Bottom, comes into play tapped. Or it would come into play tapped if we play it. It's good because it has the black, but I think this turn we're going to play an Island. And then we're going to tap our 3 lands, 1 for a blue. And we're going to play Thieves' Knife. It has job select, so we'll create a hero token, and this will attach to it. We will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Badgermole. We're going to play a Forest. Then we're going to tap for 3, 1 being a green. And we're going to cast Toph, Blind Bandit. So when she enters, we're going to Earthbend 2. So let's Earthbend our Forest. Let's Earthbend our Thriving Heath. And we will pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. We're going to play an Island. Then we're going to tap 3, 1 being a green. And we're going to play Turtle Tracks. So any number of target players may search their library for a basic land card. So it says any number of target players. Let's just target Mikey. And then we're going to put a land card onto the battlefield and shuffle. So we're going to put a Forest into play. Then we'll go to combat. Actually, we're going to tap that Forest. And we're going to crack our mutagen to put a +1 counter on Michelangelo, who will trigger and says if 1 or more +1 counters would be put on a creature, that many +1. So he'll get 2 +1 counters. Then we will go to combat, and we'll attack Toph for 3. Toph could block, but we're not going to, and we're going to take the 3 damage. So we'll pass the turn to Warrior, who will draw into Sid. I think we're going to play the... Okay, we would play this, but before that, let's go to combat. And we're going to tap the hero, who's a 2/2. And we're going to attack Let's attack Mikey. Mikey has no blocks, so take 2. And when it deals, when the hero deals combat damage, we're going to draw a card. We'll draw into Champions from Beyond. And then we will play our Foggy Bottom Swamp. That comes into play tapped. We will then pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Sunblessed Peak. We will play the Sunblessed Peak tapped. Unfortunately, we have no 3-mana spells in hand. So I guess we'll go to combat, and maybe we'll attack the Warrior of Light for 2. We'll pass to Mikey, who draws into a forest. We're going to play an island. And then we're going to tap 4. Let's say 2 blue, 2 green. Because that's exactly what it is. And we're going to cast Mikey and Dawn. We can look at the top card of our library anytime. It's a turtle, but we can't afford to cast it. So we will go to combat. Maybe this time around we are going to attack the Warrior of Light with Michelangelo for 3 damage. And Warrior of Light has no blocks, so we'll have to take it. We will pass the turn to the Warrior, who will draw into Gilgamesh. I think to begin with, we'll go to combat. We will have the hero attack Toph for 2. Toph can block with the Earthbent land, but we kind of want to keep it around. So we won't block, and Toph will take the 2. So combat trigger, the hero thief will draw into Judgment Bolt. We're going to play the Gold Saucer. We're going to tap Foggy Swamp Bottom for a black and 1 other. And we're going to cast Black Mage's Rod. So it's got job select. Then we're going to tap 2. And we're going to tap the Gold Saucer so we could flip a coin. If we win the flip, create a treasure. Instead, we're going to roll the dice. And we're going to say odds. And they're evens. Boo. We will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into United Front. We're going to tap a red, a green, and 2 others, one being the Thriving Heath. And we will cast Toph, Hard-Headed Teacher. So when she enters, we can discard a card. If we do, we're going to return target instant or sorcery from her grave. We don't have any in our grave, so we won't do that. We will go to combat, and we will tap the Blind Bandit to attack Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light will do no blocks and will take 2 damage. We will pass the turn to Mikey, who will untap and draw into Donatello. And let's look at the top card. We've got a land here. So let's play that land. It comes into the battlefield tapped, and we gain a life. Then let's look at the top card again. We got Michelangelo, Mutant BFF. Why not? We're going to tap 4, 2 being green. And we'll bring in Michelangelo, Mutant BFF. So when he enters, we're going to create a mutagen token. And I think we're going to tap this one to crack the mutagen token and put a +1 counter on Mikey. But it'll be 2 +1 counters thanks to weirdness to 11. We'll go to combat. We'll have weirdness to 11 attack Warrior of Light. And we'll have Mikey and Dawn attack Toph. And each creature with a counter on it, thanks to Mutant BFF, can't be blocked by more than one creature. So unless Toph wants to lose somebody or the Warrior of Light wants to lose somebody, there will be no blocks. Toph will take 5. Warrior will take 3. So we will pass the turn to Warrior, who will draw into Furion. I think we're going to tap 3, 1 being a black. And we're going to cast Reaper Scythe. It's got Job Select. Because that was a non-creature spell, the Black Mage's Rod will trigger, and well, the hero with the Black Mage's Rod will trigger, and it'll deal 1 damage to each opponent. We will then pay 2 to equip the Reaper Scythe to the hero with the Thieves' Blade. We will do no attacks this turn, but at the beginning of the end step, we're going to put a soul counter on the Reaper Scythe for each player who lost life this turn, and that'll be 2 players. So we will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into a Plains. We will tap 4, 1 being a green, and we will play Solid Ground. So we're going to Earthbend 3, but if 1 or more counters would be put on a permanent we control, +1 counters, that many +1 counters are put on it. So we're going to Earthbend 3 and then put an extra +1 counter. And let's Earthbend the Windhurst Federation Center. Because we cast a spell, or we were casting a spell, Toph Hard-Headed Teacher would have triggered, and we're going to Earthbend 1. It wasn't a lesson, so don't get the additional. But Solid Ground will trigger, so we'll be putting 2, and we're going to put it on the Thriving Heath. We will go to combat, and I think Toph, the Blind Bandit, will attack. She is now an 8/3, and she's going to attack Mikey. Mikey will not block and will take 8 damage. We'll pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Turtles in Time. Let's look at the top card of our library. It's Chrome Dome. It is a ninja. I don't know if we're going to cast it, though. I think we're going to play a forest. And maybe we will tap 2. And we're going to cast Chrome Dome from the top of our library. Then we're going to look at the top again, and it's Retro Mutagen. So we can't do anything like about that right now. I think we're going to tap 3. And we're going to bring out Donatello, Gadget Master. Then we're going to tap 1, blue, for Sewer Valence Cam. So when it enters, we're going to choose to tap the hero with the Reaper Scythe. Then we're going to attack, and we're going to attack with Michelangelo and Mikey and Don. And we're going to attack... We're going to attack Toph with Mikey. And we're going to attack the Warrior with Mutant BFF. So on attack, Mikey's going to create a Mutagen token. Warrior will declare no blocks, and same with Toph. So Toph will take 5 more commander damage. Warrior's just going to take 4 damage. And then we're going to pay 1 on our second main to crack the Mutagen and put 2 +1 counters, thanks to Weirdness to 11, onto Donatello. Actually, never mind. We're going to put it on Michelangelo. So I think we're going to pass the turn to the Warrior now, who will draw into White Mage's Staff. We're going to tap 3, 1 being a black, and cast Ninja Blades, which has Job Select. Then we're going to tap 2, and we're going to equip it to the hero with the Reaper Scythe. Oh, and on cast, the Black Mage's Staff would trigger, well, the hero that holds the Black Mage's Staff would trigger and do 1 damage to each opponent. We'll go to combat, and that hero is going to attack Mikey. It's going at Mikey for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. We can block. The question is if we want to. Let's not block this one. We'll let it through for the 5 damage. The hero has 2 triggers, so we'll do the Thief one first. We get to draw a card on combat damage, the Masamune. And the Ninja Blades will trigger. So we're going to draw a card and then discard a card. So we're going to draw into a mountain. And we're going to discard Gilgamesh. And we will target... Let's target... because that player loses life equal to the discarded card's mana value. Ooh, let's say Toph. Toph will lose 6. On the end step, because 2 opponents had lost life this turn. Oh, it's for each player, but we didn't lose life. So we got 2 more counters on the Reaper Scythe. And pass the turn to Toph, who will untap and draw into Enlightened Tutor. I think we're going to pay 1 white. Oops. 1 white. To play Enlightened Tutor, we're going to search for an enchantment card and put it on top of our library. We are going to look for Beastmaster Ascension. That'll go on top. A better strategy would have been waiting until the end of the Warrior of Light's turn and then casting it, because it's an instant. Almost guaranteeing you get that card, so nobody makes you shuffle your library. But now we're gonna pay or tap a green, a red, Thriving Heath for a white, and 1 other. Oh, by casting Enlightened Tutor, Toph Hard-Headed Teacher goes off. So we will Earthbend 1 and put an extra counter on it because of solid ground. And with the lands we cast tapped, we're going to cast Toph, the first Metalbender. I think we're going to attack Mikey with Toph, the Blind Bandit. Just kidding. We're going to hold back this turn. Yeah, I think we're going to hold back, because then you could just block with Donatello, the damage won't get through, and we've got a way to give trample. So, we're going to wait, and we'll just pass the turn to Mikey, who will untap and draw into the Retro Mutagen. We're going to look at the top card. It's an island. We're going to play that for our land. We're going to look at the next top card. It's Mutant Chain Reaction, so we can't do anything with that. I think we're going to go to combat. We'll attack Toph with Mikey again. Yeah. Well, not quite yet. I think what we're going to do is let's tap before going to combat. Let's tap 3, 1 for a blue. And I guess we could have done this during combat too. We're going to cast Retro Mutagen. So, enchanted creature is a turtle with base power 0/1 and can't attack and loses all abilities. We're going to do Toph, the Blind Bandit. We're going to tap Mikey, Weirdness to 11, and Mutant BFF. We'll have Party Planners and Weirdness Party Planners and Mutant BFF go against Toph, and Weirdness to 11 is going to attack Warrior. And on attack, Michelangelo will create a mutagen. I think Toph will block Mikey, or the Party Planners, with her 0/1 turtle. But she will take the 6 from Mutant BFF, and the Warrior will take the 3 from Weirdness to 11. We are going to tap 1. Now let's tap a basic. We're going to tap 1. And we're going to crack the mutagen and put 2+1 counters on Donatello Gadget Master. And that's 2 thanks to Weirdness to 11. I think that is all we are going to do. Or nope, you know what? That's not all we're going to do. We are going to tap 4, 1 being a green. We're going to cast Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. It cost 1 less to cast because we control a creature with a +1 counter. So there you go. So we will be passing the turn to Warrior of Light. We'll untap and draw into a swamp. I just realized we had 8 cards in our hand, so we're going to get rid of the Mass Moon. But we are going to play the Mountain. We're going to tap 4 lands, 1 being a red. And we're going to cast Judgment Bolt. And we're going to do 5 damage to, let's do it to Mikey. And it's going to do X damage to the creature's controller, where it's the number of equipment we control. And we control 4 equipment. I think Warrior of Light's going to go to combat and will attack Mikey with the hero that has the Reaper Scythe. I think this time around, Mikey's going to block with Chrome Dome. So no combat triggers there then. And when we cast Judgment Bolt, the hero with the Mage's Rod is supposed to trigger and will deal 1 damage to each opponent. Well, see, the Warrior needs some white mana right now. I don't know where it is. Probably hidden somewhere in that deck of his. Curses. Okay, so we're going to pass the turn to Toph, who will untap and draw into, oh, surprise, surprise, Beastmaster Ascension. I forgot to Earthbend 2 at the beginning of my end step last turn. I would have gotten 3 counters because of Solid Ground. I think we're going to tap white and another one and another white and 2 others. And we're going to play United Front. So we're going to create X white ally creature tokens and then put a +1 counter on each creature we control. And X is going to be equal to 3. So Solid Ground is going to put an extra counter on each of them. And because we cast a spell, we get to Earthbend 1 from a Hard-Headed Teacher. And that'll be 2 counters put on our forest, which is supposed to be tapped. And we will go to the end step where we were Earthbend 2, putting 3 counters, thanks to Solid Ground, onto, let's say, the forest we just brought out. We will do no attacks this turn, and we'll pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Mutant Chain Reaction. I think we're going to play the Northampton Farm. And right off the bat, we're going to tap for 3 and play Mutant Chain Reaction to destroy that Solid Ground. Then we're going to pay 6 to bring back Mikey and Dawn. Let's look at our top card. It's, April O'Neil. She's neither a ninja nor a turtle or a land. So, or a Mutant. So, oops. Forgot to untap there. So we'll go to combat. And let's attack. Let's attack Toph with Michelangelo and Donatello. And we'll attack the warrior with weirdness to 11. Maybe I'll also attack Toph with the prehistoric Turtlesaurus. On attack, Michelangelo is going to create a mutagen. I think Toph's going to block... She's going to block probably Mutant BFF with one of her allies. And we will block Donatello. And we'll take 4 from the prehistoric Turtlesaurus. And we will be losing 2 of the allies. Meanwhile, I don't think Warrior is going to block, and we'll take the 3 from weirdness to 11. So Mikey will pass the turn to Warrior, who will draw into Summoner's Grimoire. We're going to play a Swamp. We're going to tap a green and 3 others to play Summoner's Grimoire. It's got Job Select, but we're going to pay 3 to equip it to the hero that shouldn't be tapped right now, but with the Reaper Scythe. And now, I think we're going to attack... It's a tough choice here. If we attack Toph, we know she's going to block with the ally. If we attack Mikey, he might block, might not. Let's attack Mikey. On attack, we're Summoner's Grimoire will trigger. Whenever a creature attacks, we can put a creature from our hand onto the battlefield. We'll put Sid, Timeless Artificer. So each of our heroes will get +1/+1, because the only Artificer we have is Sid. I think Mikey will not block this one. And... well, if the hero... shoot, you know what? We are going to block it. We'll block it with Mikey. Of course, I forgot when the Summoner's Grimoire came in, it was a non-creature spell. Black Mage's Rod would have triggered, and Mikey and Don and Toph would have lost a life. So we will go to the end step, and the Reaper Scythe will get 2 more counters. We will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Taunting Challenge. This really sucks for Toph because she doesn't have enough land right now. If we go for the Beastmaster Ascension, 2 of the lands are going to be tapped that have been Earthbent. And we've only got 5 creatures to attack with. But then that'll leave her wide open. If we go for Taunting Challenge, it's the same scenario. But we'd be wide open again. If we go for the Badger Mole, we could give them all Trample. But none of the Earthbent lands will be untapped. Crystalline Armor, similar scenario. So I think the best thing to do in this case is we do the Taunting Challenge. Yeah. I think we should do the taunting challenge. Or the Badger Mole. Let's do the Badger Mole and see what happens. Maybe we can wait it out one more turn and go in for Trample. I don't think we're going to be doing it this turn, though. So we're going to tap all 5 of our lands. And we're going to cast Badger Mole, which will Earthbend 2. So the land that we had tapped that isn't Earthbent yet will Earthbend 2. And Solid Ground is gone, so we don't get the extra. Because that was a creature spell, or because that was a spell, Hard-Headed Teacher will Earthbend 1. And I guess let's go to the end step, because we need to block as well. First Metalbender will Earthbend 2. So we will pass to Mikey and Don, who will untap, upkeep, and draw into Hacktivist, April O'Neil. I think that Mikey's going to go straight to combat. We're going to attack. Actually, we're not gonna attack. No, we're gonna go straight to doing this. Mikey's gonna be kind of a butthole, and he's gonna tap 7 lands, 2 of them being blue, and he's gonna board wipe with Turtles in Time. So we're going to return all creatures to their owner's hands. Then each player can shuffle their hand and grave into their library. Each player who does draws 7 cards. Mikey's not going to shuffle their hand. They're just going to tap their last 2 lands and do Weirdness to 11. Creating a Mutagen token. We're going to pass the turn to the Warrior, who will draw into Vector. We're going to play Vector, tapped. We're going to tap 3 lands. And we're going to cast Firion. We're going to tap 2. And we're going to equip the Reaper Scythe to Firion. We're going to tap 2. And we're going to attach the Ninja Blades to Firion. Equipped creatures we control have haste thanks to Firion, so we're going to go to combat and attack Mikey. And we're going to attack for 10. Mikey's not going to block because he wants to keep Michelangelo, Weirdness to 11, so we'll take the 10. On damage, the Ninja Blades will trigger. And we get to draw a card, so we'll draw into Gothmog. And we're going to discard Sid and do 4 damage to Mikey. Or rather, Mikey will lose 4. So we're going to pass the turn to Toph, who lost everything, because she had to return to hand all creatures, and that meant all her Earthbent lands. We're going to draw into a Thriving Grove. We have no 1-drops, so we'll play the Windhurst. And we're going to have to pass, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards in hand, so we got to get rid of a whole bunch. So we'll put Toph, the first Metalbender, in our command zone. We'll get rid of Thriving Grove, Crystalline Armor, Badger Mole, the Legend of Kyoshi, and Flopsy. We will pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Return to the Sewers. I think we're going to tap 4. 2 being green for Mutant BFF. So when he enters, we're going to create a mutagen. Then we will tap 4. And we're going to cast Return to the Sewers. So we're going to put Firion either on the top or bottom of the library. Warrior of Light's going to choose top. And we're going to create a mutagen. Then we'll tap our last land. And we'll crack one of our mutagen and put 2+1 counters, thanks to Weirdness of 11, onto Mutant BFF. Actually, we'll put it onto the weirdness to 11 for now. We're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with weirdness to 11 at Warrior of Light. That'll do 3 damage. We're going to pass the turn to Warrior of Light, who will draw into, whoa-ho-ho, Firion. We're going to tap 3 to bring in Firion, Warrior of Light, our Rose Warrior. We are going to tap 2 for the Reaper Scythe to equip it. Which actually should have a +1 counter, or should have a counter on it because weirdness to 11 lost life last turn. Then we're going to pay 3, and we're going to equip the Summoner's Grimoire to Firion. We will go to combat. We're going to tap Firion. We are going to put, when it attacks, Grimoire will trigger. We're going to put Gothmog onto the battlefield. We're going to amass 1, amass Orcs 1. I don't have a token for it, so we're just going to use a black dice. And it's got Death Touch. So Firion is attacking Michelangelo. And if Michelangelo doesn't want to die, he's got to block with Mutant BFF. So I guess that's what he'll have to do. I guess we will pass the turn to Toph, who will draw into Glider Staff. Toph will play a Sunblessed Peak tapped, and we'll cry, I guess, because there's nothing else to do. And we'll pass the turn to Michelangelo, who will untap and draw a super combo. Ooh, I put another... Oh, no. I thought I had done damage. I didn't do damage last turn, so the Reaper Scythe doesn't get it. So Mikey's going to tap 1. We're going to crack a Mutant and put 2 +1 counters on weirdness to 11 because of its own ability. Then we're going to tap 4, 1 being green. And we're going to play super combo. And... You know what? We're paying the green and whatever to cast super combo. We're paying the 2 other lands to replicate. We're going to pay 2 more lands to replicate. And we're going to pay 2 more lands to replicate. So super combo is going to go off. We've just made 3 copies of this spell. So target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So they won't damage us back. So Michelangelo, weirdness to 11, will do 5 damage to Firion. Then we'll do 5 damage to Firion again to take him out. Then with the second copy, we'll do 5 damage to Gothmog. And with the third copy, do 5 damage to the lone token. And then we will go to combat, and we will tap Michelangelo to attack Warrior for 5. We'll pass the turn to Warrior, who will draw into Albed Salvagers. We will tap 3. We're going to bring out the Albed Salvagers. We're going to tap 2 and tap the gold saucer to flip that coin or roll that dice and create treasure. This time, let's go for evens. Yes, evens. So we get a treasure. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to pay 2 and attach the Reaper Scythe to the Albed Salvagers. And we will pass the turn to Toph, who will grow into Earthbender Ascension. She will play a forest. Tap 3, 1 being a green. Play Earthbender Ascension. So we're going to Earthbend 2, then search our library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield. We're going to look for a forest. That's going to trigger Earthbender Ascension. We get a quest counter. And we will pass the turn to Mikey, who will draw into Cowabunga. So we're going to tap 4. To play Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. We get a discount because of +1 counter creature. We're going to tap 3, 1 being a blue, to bring out Donatello, Gadget Master. We're going to crack 2 mutagens by paying 2, 1 each. And we're going to put 2 +1 counters on Michelangelo and 2 on Donatello, thanks to Weirdness of 11's power. Let's attack with Mikey, and we're going to take Toph right out of the game. So I guess we're going to pass the turn to the Warrior, who will draw into Blue Mage's Cane. So we're going to tap 2 to equip the Ninja Blades to the Albed Salvagers. We're going to tap 3 to attach the Black Mage's Rod to the Albed Salvagers. We're going to crack our treasure and tap 3 others. We're going to crack the treasure for a white and cast Dancer's Chakrams. When we crack our treasure, Albed Salvagers will trigger, and Mikey will lose a life. They will gain a life. Upon casting the Chakrams, they are non-creature spells, so the Black Rod will do 1 damage to Mikey. Then we'll go to combat, and we'll attack Mikey with the Albed Salvagers, who is now a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mikey's going to have to block, so we'll block with the Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. We will pass the turn to Mikey, who has will draw into the Slithering Cryptid. I think we're going to tap 3. And we will play the Slithering Cryptid. And we're going to create a mutagen, which we will pay 1 for, crack right away, to put 2 +1 counters on Donatello. We are going to tap 4. And we're going to bring in April, Hacktivist. Then we're going to pay 1. Oops, we're going to pay 1. And we will cast Cowabunga. We're going to look at the top 4 cards of the library. We could reveal a mutant, ninja, turtle, or land, and put it into our hand. So, we'd have a ninja, crab, mutant, instant. You know what? We're going to add Donnie and April, a Dorkable duo, into our hand, the rest at the bottom. We will go to combat. We'll attack with Weirdness to 11 and Gadget Master. The hero with the chakras will block Weirdness to 11. So we will take 7 damage, but and we'll lose the hero. But the hero does have lifelink, and it's a 3/3. On Mikey's end step, April will trigger. We cast a sorcery and we cast a creature. So we get to draw 2 cards. And we're going to draw into Leatherhead and a Skateboard. We're going to tap for the Warrior of Light. We're going to draw into Command Tower. We're going to tap 2 and the Gold Saucer to flip that coin. Let's go for evens. We got evens. So we get to create a treasure. Which means I think we've won the game. Just because of that. So we're going to crack that treasure. And we're going to tap the Command Tower. I don't know if we played it. We played the Command Tower, and we'll tap the Command Tower. And you know what? No, because we're cracking the treasure. We'll tap the island and the treasure. Sack the treasure. When we sack the treasure, Mikey loses a life. Warrior gains a life. It's got to be for a white mana. And we're going to cast White Mage's Staff. And because we're casting a non-creature spell, Black Mage's Rod will trigger. Well, the Albed Salvagers, who has the Black Mage's Rod, will trigger. and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And that takes care of Mikey. That was very, very, very lucky for the warrior, and not for Mikey. Yeah. So that was an interesting playthrough. Too bad for Toph. That really sucked. That Turtles in Time is really not good for the Earth Bent lands. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.